Alright, then I'll click on login. And I have the data science here. Alright, so from the data science, we have created a table called user, right? Now I'll be using the SQL command because that's the very best thing we can do. So today we will learn how to create table using what? Using code. How to create table using SQL command. Okay, so I'll do create, then table, followed by the name of the table. The name of the table here, I'll call it subject, right? Or let me call it exam. I'll call it exams. That's the name of the table. So it is always important to check if a table is not existing. So we'll say if not exist, right? Exams. Say create table if not exist, exams. Now, very first thing I'll be doing is say ID. ID is the first column. If you don't understand, kindly watch the previous tutorial. If you don't understand, kindly see the previous tutorial. Okay, so then I'll say this is integer, it is not null, it is auto underscore increment. So that is a field that will be increasing itself automatically. Then I'll have subject text, that is also not null. Then I will have another one called score, right? That will be integer. That is also not null, right? Then I will also have another score, right? Okay, I think that is fine. Then I will also have user ID, that will be integer, that will be not null. So this is how to create table. So if I click on go, then note that the table will be added here if there is no error. Okay, but now we have an error. Create table if not exist ID this that. There's an incorrect table definition. There can be only one auto column and it must be defined as a key. Okay, look at it now. ID int not null. So auto increment must be a key. So we now say primary describe the name of the table. Alright, how do we do that? So we can do DSC. The name of the table is exams. So what are we describing? We are describing table, then table name. Now it's going to give us a description of the table. Look at it, ID has been successfully. Current list does not contain a unique column, grid a checkbox and all of that. So show query box, describe table name. You should see a description of the table actually. So look at that. We should see a description of the table. Okay. But I guess the reason we didn't see that is because I can click on the exams here and I will do structure. So to tell me how the table is, this is what exactly we need. Right? ID tells us that the type is integer, then not no default is auto increment, right? Subject text score integer, user ID integer. So this is a description of the table we just created. Right. So the next one we want to do is, after you have created a table, what are the things, what are the reason for you to create that table, right? So you can insert data into that table. How do you do that? I'm on exams, right? Before I do that, I will go to users and I can click on insert. Then name, I can say Ademola Adekunle, right? Then email, I can say adeade at gmail.com, and I can come to password. I'm going to do that as adeade. Then I can come to city and I will say Ibadan. Then day of birth 23, month of birth 2, year of birth 2001, gender male 2001, gender male, and I'll hit go. So now once I do that, you will see if you click on browse, you see all the information I just supplied. And what if you don't want to use that format? You don't want to come and click on insert, you want to write the code. So how do you do that? So we have used is a create code. You look at the follow up very well. So you can do insert into, don't forget we are inserting into users, insert into users. Now since I want to insert everything, I'm not skipping anything. So the very first one is ID and it is automatic numbering. So I don't need to put anything, I just do this, then comma, then name is a string. So it should be put Shola Bade Raf. Then next one is gender. Next one is not gender. Okay. So next one is okay. This is the arrangement. Next one is email. Shala at gmail.com. Next one is password. So Shala Raf, followed by city is Ibadan. Osogbo. Right. Next one is day of birth. 5, month of birth 09, year of birth 1998. Right. So next one is gender is female. Well, let me say gender is male. Right. So I'm done. hit enter. Now we have an issue here. You have an error in your Xcode. Check the one that transfer to your version right center to use near this guy. Look at that. Near this guy. Okay. So then I should do 0 and I'll hit go. So again, you have an error near 0. Alright, insert into users. Okay, values. I should be able to do this. Then click on go. Click on go. Right. So if I click on my users now, I have two records. As you can see, I have two records. Okay, I have two records. Okay, so now we have insert records. Look at that. We have two records. So the first user's ID is 1 and second user's ID is 2. So the next thing we want to do now is insert exams. Okay, look at it. Subject score user ID. And don't forget that we have just two users, the user 1 and user 2. Right? So I can go to my insert again. I can say subject is English. Look at that. And the score is 67. User ID is 1. So that means this English is for user ID 1. Okay. So if I browse, I have English for user ID 1. And if I go to my users, user ID 1 is Ademola Adekunle, as you can see. Okay, so I'll go back to exams. I'll click on SQL. Don't forget I'm inserting to exams. Say insert into exams. Don't forget the values. Then 0, because that's first column ID is auto increment. Then math. The score for math is 57 and user ID is also 1. I can copy this, right, and say, okay, can I do multiple? That's another question. Can I do multiple? Yeah, can I do multiple? So, can I do physics? Right, physics. And can this be 69? And if I hit go, what will happen? So look at that, I've just inserted two queries. So you can see now I have math, I have physics for that same users, right? So if I go back to SQL, another way that I can use to insert record, insert into exam values. So I can make this one as the first value for the second person now, right? Uh, Second value, right? For the second person now, add English, right? Don't forget user 2, comma again, another value. 0, write physics, then 89, then so for user ID 2. So I can also hit go. Now we have an error here. Column count doesn't match value count. So the problem here is because I have double bracket. Okay, so I'll do go, then I should have the queries inserted. So if I go to exams, right here, you see I have is ID 1, is ID 2. So all of them English, math, physics. So I can select for user ID 1 alone. How? By doing select all from exams where user ID equals to 1. Look at that. I have just for user ID 1. I have just for user ID 1. Right, so what we have done how to insert right now. Okay, so we're able to insert multiple records, single record, and now if we go back to our lecture guide, if we go back to our lecture guide on my SQL, we'll do installation, which we have done. Now, data definition language. What are the data definition language? Data definition languages are used to define the structure of your SQL, right? They are used to what? To define the structure of your SQL. What do I mean? We have some examples that will be demonstrated right now. We have create, we have alter, and we have drop. So today will be all about data definition language. So all right, all about data definition language. Now, when I say data definition language, what do I mean? I mean create is a definition. Why is it definition? You use create to define how you want whatever you want to create to look like, right? Then the next one is alter. Alter, what does alter mean? Alter means, for instance, this is exams, okay? Now, I have created subject score. Now, I want to alter my database. I don't want it to be just score. I want it to be exam and also um, test exam total. Do you understand? Test exam total. text exam total. Now, but I have created subject score. Instead of that, I want to alter the database to have database table. I want it to have exam, I want it to have total, okay, and may yes, exam and total, okay. So, and then another one that we have under the data definition statement is drop. What do we mean by drop? Drop is to delete something, right? To delete, but there is a place where we use delete, there's a place where we use drop. In a nutshell, in data repositories that use SQL to access and interface with the data, the definition of data or data definition language is DDL, right? That is what we mean by DDL, right? DDL. So DDL aims to establish and modify the structure of objects stored in the database. So meaning we use the DDL to modify the structure, we use it to create the structure of our tables or objects stored in database, right? So we are going to see how we use data definition queries like create. Okay, we have demonstrated create, so I believe we all can use the create as simple as I have used it. Okay, and then we want to see how we can use alter statement now, right? Alter statement. Now, what can we alter? We can alter view, we can alter table, we can alter users account. In fact, we can alter anything that has been created. We can alter triggers and so on. We'll be covering much of this later on. So now, how do you use alter? Now look at what I said. I have subject score, but now instead of subject and score, I want subject, exam score, and test, just test and exam. That's what I want now. Test, exam, total. So what do? I'll go back to my SQL command and I'll say alter table. Now in the alter table, what's the name of the table I want to alter? I want to alter a table named exams. Okay. Now what do I want to do? I want to drop, okay, I don't want to drop it. That's score. I want to rename, right? I want to rename a table, right? I want to rename it. I want to rename the table. So can I do rename? Look at that. Rename. Old name, score. Then new name. Old name, score, then new name. Alright, so alter table rename, old name, then new name. So I'll say to, what's the new name? New name is uh exam. Look at that. So that is okay, sorry, I'm renaming the column. I think that is why it's like that. So alter table exams, rename column score to exam. Alright. alter table exams, rename column, okay, then we'll run it. In this case, there is an issue with that two. Is underlining it, so it should not underline. It should not underline. It should not underline. So rename column to new column. Missing comma here. Do we have any comma missing? So we did not have any comma missing here. Let me do go. Missing comma before start a new alter operation. Alter table exams, rename column score to new column. Will this work? That won't work. Alright. Let us use change instead of rename column. Might be because of the engine we are using. So change old column, new column, okay. And then that new column, if you want to change the data type, you can also specify, but right now we are not changing the data type. We just want to rename it. What error do we have again? Alter table exams, change column, write exam. Okay, data type is integer. Alright, so let me do go this time around. We still have an error here. So the problem is the quotes I'm giving the name. That's the problem. So let's see the exam now to see whether we have it. So we have it as exam. So now I want to add another column to exam. So I can say alter table. The table name is exam as usual, exams, and I'll say add. I'm adding column, right? What am I adding? I'm adding test score, then integer. I can hit go. So this time around we have add. Now this is changing the structure, right? Alter is a DDL syntax, data definition. Now there's another thing I want to add. If you look at this exam, you see that this is 67. What if somebody score 67.5? What if somebody have test score as 12.8? What can we do? Right? So I can also do alter table followed by the table name exams, right? We do change exam to exam. Right now, what are we changing? We are changing the data type from integer to what? to double. So if I hit go now, right, to browse again, you will see that if you go to the structure, you will see that exam is no longer integer, it is now double. Okay. Now if I go back to my SQL, I can also do I can also do um can also do alter table, alter table. Then the table name is also exams, and then we want to change test score to test score with double data type and then default of 0.0. Okay, so if I hit go, now if I go to exams, you will see that I have test scores here, but the default is not working. We should have the default. Let's look at it. Default is 0. It's not reflecting anyways. It's supposed to reflect, right? But we change it to double. Then default of what? 0. So that is how we can do all that. So suppose I have a column I don't want. For instance, let's say I say alter table, and table name is exams. I say add uh, average, add average. Do I have total? I didn't have total yet. Add total, add total. Then after that, add total. Total is integer, sorry, total is double. Then comma, add average. Average is also double. Since I'm adding, can I do this? Right, comma, add result, that is text. Okay, and I hit go. So if I go to exams now I have test score, total score, average results. But right now I don't want average. I mean, sorry, I don't want result. So what can I do? And I can go to edit line, and I'll also do my alter table. Name of table again is exams, and I will say drop. What am I dropping? Drop column column name is result. I can hit go. Say, do you really want to execute alter table exam drop column result? Yes, I want to do that. Then if I now go back to exams, you will see that there is no more column named result. And if you look at it, it asks you to reconfirm. Are you sure you are not making mistake? Because what if that thing contains record? If it contains record, you will see that all the record will also go alongside the information and the result, the column you just deleted. And the column you just deleted. So that is why anytime you want to delete and you want to drop a column, ensure that you didn't just drop column with data, or you are sure of the column you are dropping. so you won't lose your information. So we have done three data definition language. We did create, we did alter, and also we did um, drop. There are many other definition languages anyways. I want you to come up with two other examples as well as designing the two tables that we have designed. Look at it, we have users that have designed ID, name, email, password, city, day, month, year, gender, and also I have exams, right? So what I want you to do right now is on the exam, I want you to add a column called date, column called date, and let the date be automatic. Okay, and I want you to add column to users, date added. So after the gender, you add a column and let the column be date added, and then the date should be automatic as well. So that will be your assignment, and I want us to submit the assignment before the next class. Our next class is tomorrow, same time, 1 o'clock. Thank you for joining.